If you find the twerking Monkey King, you win a prize. If you catch him, you win too. Welcome to Scion Godsend. We are very excited to see you. I have a hair in my mouth. There is no peace for me. It's still there. Gross. Cool. We have a couple announcements. I'm fucking dying. Scion God is on backer kit. Don't look at me like that. Scion God is on backer kit right now. Fully funded with a bunch of stretch goals unlocked. They're sitting at $95,227 with 1,752 backers. 18 days left to go. They just unlocked one of their stretch goals, which was the Redbubble T-shirt. Probably the first T-shirt I'm going to get for a Kickstarter and or backer kit. I'm very excited for it. Alongside that, they've been releasing. They've unlocked the compendium updates, which will help detail how to run and rule divine realms, how to deal out divine wounds to kill gods if you so choose to do so. I don't know who would do that. I don't know why you would ever want to, unseat a god from his throne, but I'm sure someone will find it in handy. In addition to that, they've been releasing bit by bit little tasty bits, not tasty bits, that's a whole separate thing, but they've been releasing previews of the manuscript itself. Recently, I think today, early this morning, they did the Phoenician deities of the, I'm going to butcher this name, Ilhim, ILHM. I'm so sorry. Yeah, well, if whoever I offended, I'm sorry. That's our only official announcement. My second announcement is kind of personal, just a little bit more personal note. I finally got this in the mail. It's the Trinity Continuum novella Terat by Travis Legg and Sarah. I'm gonna butcher this name as well. I'm so sorry. I know these people too. That's fucked up. Sarah Schwarn. I'm sorry. But you should check it out. It's on DriveThruRPG. I've started it in my sleepless insomniac time frame, and it's really good. I'm going to pop the links for both the backer kit and Terat in the chat just to plug things, and I'll do all that kind of stuff. But with that out of the way, I have no further announcements, and I feel no need to butcher anyone else's name, so let's go ahead and meet our Scions. Hopefully they butcher someone else's name so it doesn't make me look as bad.
Hey guys, Charles here. I don't know if I'm any good at really butchering names except for New Orleans and Ramos. But aside from that, just gonna wing it, as per usual. Buck around and find out.
Yeah, Gideon Danger. Highly recommend that you heat your poultry to 165 degrees Fahrenheit internal temperature.
Did you know that on October 9th, 2022, Earth was struck by a gamma ray burst sent at us about 2 billion years ago? If that had come from inside our solar system, all life on Earth would have likely been extinguished. Sleep well.
But we're still here, baby. And we're going to keep going. From one planet to the next. USA. USA.
Well, with all that wisdom out of the way, really the only thing that I can add is to be wary of anyone who can spell gonorrhea correctly the first time.
We're all on one. All right, cool. This will be without a doubt a very interesting episode. So let's jump right into it. Today's episode of Scion Godsend. We are beginning today off with another momentum as the scene begins. Before that officially takes place, Gregor, if you'd kindly recap.
Oh, great. So we basically had our wonderful little talk with the watchers. They were, or keepers. They gave us our pitch. Gideon proceeded to not like their pitch because it appeared to put them in power. Basically nobody solidly took a position either way. We all were very non-committal. Then we split up because, of course, we did, being the crazy lot we are. Thalis and Charles proceeded to go do crazy Thalis Charles things, embrace their chaotic nature. Thalis proceeded to read something he shouldn't have, and is now just a little bit more open to my part of the world. And then those two were inevitably called by Gideon. Gideon himself had left the place and gone to go have a discussion with his uncle, because I believe that I got that right. His uncle Helios, where Helios took a very non-committal role in giving Gideon what he wanted. Then proceeded to kind of very comedically try to flap his arms to fly away, and it worked due to his lack of power being retired. Our wonderful the guy who brought us here proceeded to go and talk with Hercules. He got the down low about what the keepers were actually about, and their goal of basically making the world our world. Then proceeded to go talk with his brother, who learned that his father was not happy about the situation and thought that he was being corrupted. He also learned a bit about incarnations, which was interesting. Me myself, I just I've been in the building most of the time. I went and got my dog. We came back. We were in the building the whole time. Nothing crazy happened there. I managed to play some pranks on Charles by making him think that it might be haunted, but nothing too crazy. And we left off on, I believe, Gideon or Charles and Thalis taking up defensive positions against Gideon, who was smiling at them as they exited the airport.
We rejoin Charles, Thalis, and Gideon in this exact moment. Gentlemen, your scene.
I'll wait for them to finish their strategic positioning.
Yeah, I'll just walk around over
Yeah.
to Gideon onto his side and be like, "What are we staring at, bud?"
Where mine was more of a beeline.
Thalis, Charles, thank you for
Gideon,
coming. Yes.
you're welcome.
There have been some concerning matters that have been brought to my attention. Would it surprise you to know that the fates themselves saw fit to pay me a personal visit and inform me of the doomed nature of the Keeper's quest and my own?
No, that wouldn't surprise me at all.
I believe we would be remiss if we didn't bring it to Majin's attention, and perhaps even Gregor, if anyone's seen him.
Not recently, now that you mention it, but yes, should probably bring that up.
I would rather not discuss it within their domicile, if it's all the same.
Sounds good to me.
No objections here.
I didn't like the whole keeper thing anyways. Shoot a message to Gregor and Majin, saying that Gideon has some news for everyone.
What exactly does the message say, Charles?
Ayo, bitches, it's your boy, Charles. Be waiting out front, got a pizza. Gideon's got some mad info on shit for us.
Majin, this is the message you received. Gregor, your phone dings. On the screen, you can make out bits and pieces of the words. Some of them change into strange, scrawlings and symbols. While you're reading, you hear Charles's voice. Please, outside! Gideon, please, outside. Text message deletes itself.
I'm not sure what to make of this, because I know where I am, and I know that there are whispers in this place. This place might be trying to fuck with me. I'm gonna let the dice decide on this, on whether or not I'm gonna take this seriously. Nope, I don't take it seriously. I'm assuming it's just the place fucking with me.
Okay. Majin, what do you do?
I text back, all right, well, meet me in my room. I gotta finish some stuff up.
Well, finish your stuff up and just come here.
Why eat outside when I have a couch and tables and a TV and PlayStation?
Because it smells like Herculean sweat in there, and I want to have fresh air while I eat.
Is this in the group chat, or is this
Yes.
just... Okay, cool.
Absolutely.
Gregor, you see your phone
Charles will
ding.
start scowling at his phone while he's typing.
Same sort of scrawlings appear. You can make out a couple words here, but then you also hear Charles's voice becoming angry. You hear Majin's reply. A lot of the words consumption, eat.
This place is fucking with me. It's the only logical explanation given that this situation.
Charles, is there a problem?
Huh? Oh, Majin's being whiny. He doesn't want to come outside.
Fine. We can go to him. I do have some parting words for Heracles anyway.
Okie dokie. I'll shoot Majin a message, being like, "Fine, you win. We're coming."
Did that pizza ever show up?
It did.
It did. Excellent.
There was I would say pizza places are fast, not that fast.
No.
Dude just ordered. Gregor, you hear the final text message goes through. Fine, we will find you.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know what these are actually saying, but given them, I doubt it. I doubt it's anything crazy.
Would you guys like to wait for your pizza, or are you guys heading in?
I mean, I can technically do both.
That is true. You could do both.
No, I need to wait for the pizza.
Are you worried that Thalis will eat it all before he arrives?
Well, not so much worried. It's just that I'm starting to like Thalos, and I would hate for that to be ruined because he eats my stuffed crust.
I don't believe that he would dare to risk such a transgression.
I hope not. It's the best. You can eat it in reverse.
But you waiting here will not make it come any faster.
You're probably right. Logically, I know you are. But I can hope.
You can.
And I'd like to make a roll to see if the pizza is here yet.
Okay. Curious. There's a lot of things at your disposal to do this. What would you like to do?
Gonna raise the city.
Oh.
You can. I feel that this is a great time to remind you guys, and we have not gotten into this really. You can perform certain marvels, based off of your purviews, based off of your motifs. What are your purviews, Charles? Let's walk through this. Let's try to get this together.
Okie dokie. My purviews are Beast, Tiangning, Epic Strength, and Epic Dexterity.
Excellent. As strange as it is, well, let's see. What's your motif? What is your pantheon's motif? Should be in your drive sheet.
My drive sheet.
Yes. If not,
Yes. Let me go ahead and get that up real quick. Okay.
no
Alchemy
worries.
manipulates the energies both within and without the body through exercises and concoctions associated with the 5 elements.
Okay. Trying to help you make this work. Um, I would recommend, unless you have another motif, unless you have a motif attached to a relic that you think may help you, checking through your relics and seeing what motifs they have, to have this this pizza delivered a little bit quicker.
I'm thinking the pizza would have been able to be delivered a little bit quicker with the Tian Ming purview,
What's the?
ignoring all complications from bureaucratic delay.
Mm-hmm.
So, it didn't have to be filed, there didn't have to be any, real notes taken, it just skipped straight ahead of the line and started being made.
I can see the argument for the purview. Let's make an argument for that motif. The motif of the Pantheon is the limiter, really, for a lot of what marvels you're able to perform.
Yeah. So alchemy manipulates the energies both within and without the body through exercises and concoctions associated with the 5 elements. I believe creating the pizza in and of itself would be a concoction created with the 5 elements to include wood for, gas in the oven, lighting the oven and everything, water and kneading the dough, earth in the actual dough and the yeast itself, and fire in the heat, and metal in the oven. And then
cheese.
within and without the body would be the vehicle and the driver's operational abilities themselves.
I set a dangerous precedent if I say yes to this. I'm going to leave this in the hands of your compatriots.
I think, to be fair, I think the pizza place was in the airport, so
Was nearby, yes.
I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I can't speak to the chemical integrity of the pizza.
Yep.
But
Majin, Gregor,
Yeah.
what say you? What do you think? Is that an argument positively made?
I can see how it would help with the cooking of the pizza necessarily, but I don't necessarily see but the actual delivery part I don't necessarily see.
it does have epic dexterity. I feel like that speaks pretty well to the ability of the driver to navigate space.
Majin, do you have anything to weigh in?
Fairly certain only.
I say no.
Cool.
We have a tie. Unfortunately, this is not like momentum. I put this in your guys' hands. We have a tie. I'll be a tiebreaker, unfortunately. I kind of like it. I set a dangerous precedent by saying yes, but pizza equating to alchemy, I kind of dig it. So you are going to be performing a marvel. There is a list on the common rules doc that I sent a while back of tasks you can complete with such a marvel. You can use a blessing, a complication, posing a condition, resolving a condition, attacking, an equipment marvel, an off-screen action, an upheaval, emulating boons, or esoterica. For this purpose, I can see this very much to an off-screen action, meaning you'll be
pizzeria. Do it.
imbuing one legend to cut from the current scene to a nearby mortal or animal and describe how they take some action that has an impact once you cut back to the scene you and your bandmates are currently in. If that action has long-term effects that last beyond the current scene, or if you want to literally summon a mundane character in existence, ex nihilo, spend 1 legend instead. Would you like to imbue a legend for this marvel?
Yes.
You can also spend the legend to summon the pizza boy into existence instead.
No. We'll just imbue it.
Okay. So we cut from this scene and we find ourselves in a nice little pizza place just near the airport in Denver. This man is frustrated. His name is John. He's decided he's going to quit today. He wants to go out with a bang. He wants to take something from them. He doesn't feel like he's been treated right. It's not a good job. He hasn't had a raise in 2 years. The dude who started after him got the manager position. He's not having a good day. He's definitely going to quit today. There's an old beat-up jalopy of a car they use for deliveries. He's decided he's going to steal it. Now, that decision has already seated in his head for a long time throughout the day. Once you've decided to steal a car, why not take a couple other things? John takes all the pizzas that are waiting to be delivered. The manager looks at him and says, "Oh, you're delivering all of these?" He says, "Of course. Got to do my part." "Keep it up, John. You might be up here for promotion very time soon." He nods. He takes all the pizzas. And he drives. Speeding in a company car. Charles, Thalis, Gideon, while you guys are having this conversation, it takes about 2 minutes for this conversation. You see this old beat-up Honda Civic with a little pizza on a spring skid to a stop, leaving deep tread marks in front of the airport drop-off area. "Pizza for Charles."
I'm gonna yell pizza time and spear tackle the vehicle.
You do this. John doesn't look fazed. John looks like a man on a mission.
Hey, dude. Yeah, I'm Charles. Hi.
What's up, man? There's a couple extras if you want them.
Yeah, sure. How
There's
many
like
extras?
There's a stack of 16 pizzas in the back seat.
Can I take all of them?
Yeah, sure, dude. Whatever you want. Matter of fact, gets out of the car, turns the engine off, hands you the keys. Enjoy. John walks into the airport.
I didn't know you got free cars with pizza.
I've never been more in love with another man than I am right now. Guys, we have 16 pizzas. Let's go. Gideon, how many pizzas can you carry?
I'm not eating.
Just gonna start stacking pizzas on Gideon's hands or shoulders or whatever horizontal surface is available.
I'll hold the pizzas.
Excellent.
Thank you.
I can carry some as well. 'Cause I mean,
And then
everything
just to
that's
make
gonna block your
sure-
line of sight at some point.
Just to make sure that the car doesn't get towed or anything, I'm just gonna like lay it on its side.
You casually, tapping into the epic strength, you kind of just turn the vehicle on its side, breaking its mirror, one of its side view mirrors. Yeah.
All right, guys. Pizza party in Majin's room. Let's go.
Is it not strike you as a little odd that guy just gave you the keys to the car?
I try not to think about things too much. Every time I do, like I start noticing more things, and it's not okay. You made that mistake earlier.
Touche. Pizza party in Majin's room.
You guys head inside the airport. You guys can see Johnny's at the counter. He's raising his voice a little bit. "I don't understand what the issue is. I'd like to apply for a job. Do you not have applications? If not, then tell me where to go." You guys head
Oh, hey,
inside.
dude, you want a job?
Sure.
Charles,
Yeah, I'm looking for...
we have matters to attend to.
Shit. Yeah. Hey, keep an eye on the car. I'll hire you whenever we get back. All right.
What? Sure. He
And I'll
heads out.
toss like my little coin pouch full of silver dollar coins.
Takes the cartridges. You got it. Heads out.
I will hand him one of the pizzas.
Takes one of the pizzas. Already better than my last job. He goes to sit by the turned over car.
We drug test, just so you know.
I'm gonna fail. Just so you know.
No. You need to at least have a drug in your system, okay? And like, I don't trust anyone who doesn't. All right.
Solid.
We are going to test so many drugs.
Yes.
Going inside.
Yes,
I'm gonna give Dallas a high five on the way in.
Oh man. Majin, last we left you, you were with your brother, drinking and imbibing certain substances, kind of just relaxing. What do you do? You are being
Exactly what you said.
requested by Charles and Thalis. Is there anything that are you leaving this space, or are you wait there for them to find you?
I said I'll meet them in my room, so I guess I'll send them where my room is, or meet them up front, or whatever. You know.
Understood. You make your way. You pass a room, looks like a classroom, with turned over desks and peeled wallpaper.
Son of a bitch. I guess I'll go in there. I'm sure I'll hear them as they come, and I'll start fixing shit. Peeled wallpaper. We got extra supplies. Where's the fucking utility closet?
You'll find the utility closet. You begin to clean up after Charles and Thalis. Eventually, you hear them coming. Charles, Gideon, and Thalis. May rejoin them whenever you'd like.
Yeah, I'll rejoin them after trying to moving a couple of desks and stuff around.
Excellent. Gideon, Charles, Thalis, you are reunited with Majin.
Hey,
What's
dude,
up?
we brought pizza.
Oh, great. What'd you say?
Is there a place that we can talk?
Yeah, I mean, well, there's always that fucking room that's, where the tables are turned over. There's plenty of space in there, Charles.
What?
Dallas.
Hmm?
Oh, okay.
See, the good news is most of this pizza was free.
We also got a car
There's that.
and a new intern. You're welcome.
Is he an intern if we're paying him?
We're not fucking paying him. What are you talking about?
Sorry, you said hire. I thought that meant payments.
Yeah.
Only.
The payment is the experience, okay?
Oh, yes.
I'm taking them to my room.
I continue to follow with the pizzas.
Do this. You head into Majin's space. There is a couple couches in front of a large television. There's a nice desk on the side wall, alongside a bed in the corner. It's decent space, decent size space for a single individual as well.
Is Gregor about?
I haven't seen him. Figured he was with y'all.
I haven't seen him.
Well, this can't really wait, so you all can feel free to fill him in when you speak again. I was visited by the Fates in person above ground.
1 second. Are you sure you want to talk here? I know you have, perversions with the keepers, and I'm sure there's some type of listening device in this room that I can't.
I honestly at this point hope that they hear me.
Oh, okay. I can bring some of them in if you like, but okay.
Certainly, if you could summon Heracles and the Prince of the Earth, it would be ideal.
Are you gonna do something damaging to them if I do?
No. I mean,
Okay.
perhaps if their egos are fragile, they might suffer some wounds, but other than that, no.
So just
Don't we know
antagonize them like the usual.
No, I have more pressing matters to attend to, honestly, but collateral damage happens. Truth.
Don't we know for a fact that the Prince of the Earth has a fragile ego? Also, I don't believe the Prince of the Earth is here. I'm pretty sure he's in a shrine, crying.
Very well. If you wish to call Heracles, you may.
No, what's up?
Look,
You sure are amicable about talking anywhere else whenever Gideon asks.
Hmm?
Yeah, you. I asked if we could talk outside, and you were like, "No, let's go to my room."
No,
Take a
you
break.
said I have pizza outside, and I said it doesn't make sense to stand and eat pizza when you could sit and eat pizza.
Is
We
Charles
got
sitting?
free coffee. No.
True.
Okay. They went
I'm
for-
going to take the pizzas and I'm going to shove them against Charles's chest and gently ease him into a chair.
Charles, you are
I will.
pushed by a box of 15 pizzas. Just
Only 8 of them. The other 8 are going on the table.
gotcha. 8 pizzas.
Okay. You've purchased my silence. I appreciate you, Gideon.
Please
I take a
consume.
pizza.
You are my favorite, and I will start shoveling pizza into my face.
Look, as I said, the fates saw fit to threaten both myself and your organization personally. Understand that by binding yourself to the keepers, you bind yourself to their fate, their failures, their plans, and their commitments to one another and to you. The fates know this, and even now promise that these goals will never come to pass. I believe that if they wish to use the tools of fate to twist them, that they will inadvertently end up bending the knee to its will. And I honestly believe that you are worthy of more consideration. Did you not see how readily they cast aside the Prince of the Earth when he fell out of favor because he doesn't operate in a manner that they find fitting with their code of conduct? Genuinely, I'm curious, what have they done to so readily prove to you that they share your values, besides offered a sales pitch and the promise to be a part of something special? What have they done? You're muted.
I've been with these people for a couple months now.
And what have they done?
I mean, they done what they said they do.
Such as?
They try to protect, the world from people like us.
That's what they've
You
said.
know?
What have they done?
What you mean? What have they done?
What evidence is there of their actions? What have they accomplished?
I don't think there's supposed to be evidence of their actions.
So they simply tell you that they do this and you believe them, even though you've seen them do nothing? What have you borne witness to that they have done to keep this world, as they put it?
Well, I don't know.
I believe that much like the Prince of the Earth, you are simply utility to them, as would I be, as would any of us, as are the mortals that they shuffle about on their game board. We can do better. I don't need them. I don't think we need them. I think that change can be enacted without them and in spite of their intentions and designs. Why bind ourselves to their structure? I can speak to everything that you all have done in the brief time that I've been with you that speak to your values, that speak to what you want, that speak to what you see and what you desire in this world. Why curtail our efforts and intent in service of subterfuge?
Who says it's subterfuge?
You did. He did. It's a secret. This whole place is a secret. Their intents are secret. Their goals, if their accomplishments are also secret.
And you think you have a better chance at just opening up for everyone to know?
I believe it's past time that the wizards behind the curtain be exposed for who and what they are. These are charlatans and manipulators. They see themselves above the powers that be, and that they will continue to exploit and reap the fruits of labors that are not their own. That's what I see here. And if you can give me no justification as to why you feel that they uphold your values other than they said they do, then I feel you may have been taken. and I don't believe you to be a fool. Look, Heracles, in all his endeavoring to put me in my place, was right about one thing. In my efforts, I have been alone. I'm a creature of the void. My words cannot be transcribed. My image cannot be captured or recorded. My message cannot be communicated. My words last as long as they can be heard by whomever hears them. I need your help. And what I've learned in my time with you so far on this plane is that without kinship, I am doomed to fail. The fates need me to be alone, not doomed to perish. My destruction is inevitable, but doomed to never see it. So I would only ask you to help me spread a message, to help pull back the veil of lies, the bitten bridle, and the saddle digging into the souls of all of these people, these followers and worshipers that these gods ride into war and use for power. Is freedom not, is liberation not your goal? Is it not your aim?
I've already gave my word to them that I'm gonna help. In the places where I feel like it needs to be a change, I'm gonna make sure they change it.
And what have they offered in return?
Besides the connection, the resources, the networking, or a place to stay.
So trappings.
Not much yet.
So here's what I offer, okay? I beseech you, in matters of kinship, I will afford you the charity of consideration for that which you hold dear, in both person and in concept. I can't promise I'll always agree with your principles, but I can promise that as long as your interests are represented honestly, that they'll be considered honestly, and my mind will remain open to the possibility that I could be convinced to see their importance. In matters of purpose, I will afford the charity of contribution to your efforts, that which you deem pertinent, to the purpose you wish to fulfill in this world or the next. That again, for as long as they are represented honestly, I will assist to the best of my ability.
What's your outcome, Gideon? Just paint me a picture of what happens when you succeed.
Let me finish. I still have more to offer you. In matters of war, we will operate as one, exterminate as one, and show mercy as one. In matters of conscience, we'll do the right thing, even when it is a terrible idea, as our duty is to one another as they are to our values. And in matters of justice, vengeance must be tempered with balance. And when the choice to act with total force or inaction are presented, the values of my kin, and I will gesture around the room, will be considered before my impulses. I don't seek worship. I wish to open minds and elevate the lives of the vassals, the expendable, the forgotten, the outcasts, the exiled, the ostracized, the downtrodden. And it is through their fulfillment of potentiality that we can flourish, not through their submission or their worship. And the only way to do that is by clarity of message. Or we could succumb to these reflections of our deeds as manifested through the lens of gods. And if we can mutually agree to these terms, then as I am unbound now, I will bind myself to you all, but not to these people. So my aim, my goal, I wish to undo it. I wish to undo the controls in place, to dismantle the power and give it back to the people who deserve it. by any means. What have they offered you again?
A chance to make a change in this world.
Then take their offer. I won't stand in your way.
Like, everything negative you said about this organization, these people that I'm part of, you have no proof. You think that they're just playing mind games with me, or I'm too naive to see what I believe is right or wrong.
They've already told us that they wish to subvert humanity and trick it into liberating itself because they lack the confidence to trust the universe with the truth. And the truth is that they are powerless before the might of belief. They are slaves to myth, to legend, to promises and lies. All of them are. Whether they want to admit it or not. They are nothing without worship. They are nothing without cults. They're nothing without followers.
And
Slaves.
nowhere have I seen them want worshipings or cults or followers.
They have them. They all have them.
Yeah, but they don't expose what their true intentions are to them.
Exactly. They're just using them for power to make these changes.
So you think that they're going to have their cults give them power and then implant a seed in their ear of
They don't-
change just to
they-
remove their own power from them?
Exactly. They're never going to give it up.
It doesn't make sense to me.
I've stated my case.
Charles, Thalis, as a reminder, you guys are there as well. You may feel free to chime in if you so choose.
You guys gonna get in on this pizza?
They've made it very clear that they wish to act when in mutual agreement, which essentially means that those of them able to convince the majority to align with their interests will succeed in their interests. And those most easily
Well-
swayed will be swayed.
Not only that, they only recruit people that align with their interests. So chances are everyone's in the majority on these decisions that they make. Like,
How do you know?
that's
They're
why
willing
they-
to recruit y'all.
They've already
And y'all
discarded.
adamant protest against
They've already
them.
discarded the Prince of the Earth because he wouldn't fall in line. The
Discarded. What do you?
Yes.
No, it's because he's a fucking dick.
Exactly.
Just like us. What do you mean?
Exactly. He didn't align with their interests, so they discarded him. So it's not they must be in agreement. They are an authority.
Just like any individual is.
No.
Are you not taking matters into your own hands?
To give power back to people, I am removing my hands. I'm not taking anything from them. I'm giving to them what has been taken from them for eternity.
And how are you doing that? Just by destroying fate. What is
No,
this outcome? What happens after you give them power back?
that's up to them.
You're not giving me anything. You're not giving me no visual. You're just saying words
That's
of,
because I don't know. I don't have a grand design.
and they
That's
don't
fate.
either.
Yes, they do.
They have a path that they want to take, and
To
that's how
where?
they see to do it.
And what is their
Just like you
destination?
have a path of destroying it,
And
they
what is
have a
their
path.
destination? What is their end goal? What is their end scene?
The end scene is to not have our influence on mortal kind.
I suppose we'll see what pans out.
I guess my thing is, How can you trust that?
How can I trust what?
Like, how long have you known these people? Like, what have they done to prove trust? You know, like they have the bad guy from the Mummy on their team. Like,
Look, Charles, I'll be honest. We've went from saving people from losing their homes to destroying lives and buildings and putting innocents in danger. They haven't shown that to me, at least not recently. But the past couple of days, being reunited with everyone, with these two new people, with you and Gregor, we put so many people in harm's way.
didn't they attack us in a heavily populated city? Like the largest city on Earth. They attacked us in, right? Like one of their own attacked us there. Wouldn't that put people in harm's way?
And are
Like
you willfully just forgetting the train car, the freezing of guards just doing their job,
did
the destruction of an entire mansion, Nintendo, a cafe? What
I'm
did
not
they
gonna
have to do
apologize
with
for
it?
Nintendo. But yes, I did get upset during the train car. I did get upset during the mansion. The cafe, they scared me, okay? Like I still feel like that one's up in the air, but I did get upset during those moments. And you're right. And I've learned from that. Equally as important is I didn't think I needed to hide that part of myself from you. I mean, how can you say that they're any better at these things? You know?
It's not hiding yourself. It's if this is who you are, then this is who you are. But this isn't what I thought you were. Needlessly putting people in danger. That's how the people are going to look at you.
Okay. That's not what any of what I do is about. Like, I don't do things for the people. I do things for the few people that I care about. Like, the people, they've never done anything for me. Like, they walked by me on the streets before I got taken into that orphanage. Like, they never cared about me when I was nobody. Like, why would I do anything for them as a whole? I care about you. I care about Gregor. I'm willing to do anything for the people that are important to me or for the things that are important to me. But the people as an overarching whole, not everyone deserves to be saved.
I will look to Charles. I will say, you heard what I said earlier regarding kinship, regarding purpose, regarding war and conscience. If Majin
Mhm.
were to tell you that it was important to him, would you consider it important for you, important to you as well?
Yes, I would consider it important to me, and that's what I feel like this is. Like, it's if this is what you're gonna do, Majin, then I'm not against you. I'm just not also going to do this. And just because I don't also do this doesn't mean that I'm against you. We can still be on the same side. We don't have to be against each other just because we're not both part of the same fan club.
What I'm saying is, it sounds like Majin, and forgive me for speaking for you, but it sounds like Majin's desire to join this organization is because he doesn't feel that kinship of value, that kinship of consideration, the charity of mutual respect for one another's values, even when our impulses drive us to do otherwise. So in matters of conscience, when the opportunity arises to do the right thing, it would seem that MAJIN would like us to do that. Were we to, again, be bound in that fashion, I have not been bound to anyone, which is why I'm having this conversation now. This would be the first time in my existence. And I've stated my terms. I've stated what I am willing to do. Can you say that you would agree to do the same?
Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
deference.
standpoint.
Not deference, consideration. The choice to consider one another's values is all that is being asked here. Or am I misreading the situation, MAJIN?
I don't know. I just want us to do the right thing. And I know what we've been in lately hasn't felt right.
Then if you can consider the fact that determining what is right will require you to confer with a council of many or a council of your peers, which would you prefer? Your
It's just
family
like,
is here amongst you, wherever Gregor is. Thalis,
look,
what are your thoughts?
Overall, making things better for people on a whole is what I would rather see. As there's been, we've strayed from that recently. Japan was pretty far off course. But as to whether or not going with the keepers is the right choice, I can't say that I'm certain on that.
You heard my words as well, did you know?
I did.
If I were to extend that to you as well, could you offer the same?
I think I could.
Well, remiss as I would be, MAJIN, I can't make you do anything. I do beseech you, though. I do know that we need you. Can they say the same?
With that, we will fade from this scene and rejoin our friend Gregor. You had every intention of making your way to the archives.
Yes.
Place where the Eldritch have scribbled just out of sight of the Keeper's own records. You find yourself there. Dog helps you find it. It's a long hall of shabbily put together shelves with files and boxes, pages.
Right. So If their archiving is anything as I expect there to be a system, but the system to be so esoteric that it's nigh impossible for a mere mortal similar to myself to be able to understand. So we'll start with random because I want to find out students' names and locations. Because I know I kept good tabs on my people, so. And then once we've got a general concept, we will narrow down.
I'll offer you a similar thing here, Gregor. You, of course, may make a simple roll and begin searching. You can tap into the mythos. What is your motif? Is time of the essence? Do you have time away from your friends?
Arcane and esoteric inscriptions, in uttering unspeakable words, draw the gods' attention to request their blessing. So it would quite literally be, hey, somebody up there, help me, please.
Would you like to do this? It is your choice. Entirely up to you.
Well, arcane calculus gives me +1 and +1 enhancement, -1 complication on such a roll for searching. Plus, I have speed reading, so I don't think I need to, realistically, because I can get a whole volume in a minute.
Just a matter of
So,
finding them at this point, though.
yeah, and I mean, if once I read, if I due to the enhancement minus complication plus the speed at which I can read, figuring out that, oh, this is a cookbook versus, oh, this is a record of that would not necessarily be too difficult, I imagine.
Entirely up to you. Again, the choice is always yours.
I'm not going to ask Mythos help.
Okay.
No.
You begin? By
yep.
all means, make the roll. Let's have a discussion about what you're trying to do here. What exactly are you looking for? Let's start with that.
Specifically, I need to know. I'm trying to find other Mythos Scions. As such, I need their records of individuals who have either come through here or individuals they are keeping a tabs on.
What
and
skill
where
do
they
you
were
think?
deployed. That's a difficult one. I imagine this would be. Where's my scale chart? Did I not copy that down? No. I don't have it off the top of my head either. Damn it.
Skills. I could see academics. Could see culture. If you're peeking through what you recall as your time as a teacher.
Occult?
I can see occult as well.
Given the nature of these people?
What in your mental attribute? I'll give you that choice as well. It will depend on what you choose will depend on how you do this. Cunning will be quicker, intellect will be more meticulous, resolve will be you will be here for the longest time.
I'll do cunning because I'm trying to get this done relatively quickly because I am tired.
Would you like to invoke a path to add some enhancement?
Yeah, sure. My private detective path. I've done this kind of research before.
Excellent. Draws back on file keeping, draws back on research and seeking out information in New York archives.
Had to do that one time. That was a good time. No, it wasn't.
+3 enhancement. So should you roll a single success, you'll have another additional 3.
All right.
You may also spend momentum. We are up at the pool of 7 now.
8.
8 with this scene. You're at correct.
No, 8.
Oh, 8 successes. In addition to that, 8 momentum for this scene. 8 successes. Now, of course, you can spend this on a degree of success. I believe the table states, I think 4 and up is godlike, with the XX successes being used how you would like. For quickness, for Anything that you can think of with information.
We'll do the 4, then let's invoke that guide stunt. Spend 3 on that, if you don't mind. So I believe, because that had to do with researching and whatnot.
Well, this is the first time you've used, and we've detailed Sir Arthur Pendlewhip and what he can do now, since he's been upgraded. Kindly detail for anyone who may be curious.
Alrighty then. So, guide stunt. When performing a research role, I can uncover something unexpected, but often useful. Cost 1 to 3 successes. I'll be doing the 3 because I feel like there's going to be something interesting here specifically.
Understood. So, spending 4 successes for the degree of success, you can do this divinely for degree of success. Spending 3, you will uncover something of great importance. What would you like to do with the excess 1 success? Just put it towards speed?
Yeah, that's probably the best option. Just speed, because I don't have any thing I can think of that any twist of fate I can think of that would be useful here.
Excellent. Gregor, you read. Gregor, you sift through pages. Arthur pulls boxes as he, with his maw, as he brings you files that he thinks may be interesting, something that he sniffs at. You read. The entirety of the time that Charles and Majin and Thalis have the conversation. The entirety of the time that they're outside acquiring a new Honda Civic and 16 pizzas, you read. You have names. You were looking for Scions. Scions you find. Scions you find. One of them is wrong. The name pops up in these records over and over and over. And even outside of the Eldritch and Mythos scrawlings over paper, you notice that it matches, almost like highlighted on the Keeper's records. Daniel Manspeaker. He's of great interest to the Keepers. He's progressing through apotheosis very quickly. Appeared out of nowhere, very clearly created. He's uniquely talented. He's charismatic. He's gathering support. He's making friends amongst other pantheons. He's a potential candidate for the Keepers. The Eldritch scrawlings detail that he is not just a Scion, he is an incarnation. He's a fragment of the King himself. The King himself has taken the board. King in Yellow has come to Earth. He's making moves on his own now that his favorite soldier is gone.
Oh. Okay. Okay. I've got the names. I'm gonna try something. Key in the gate to the other side. So the door. I want to be able to come out of the door from the slightly out of phase area to the in phase area using key in the gate. Is that possible?
Entering key in the gate outside of the esoteric area where you're at, the space between spaces, the overlapping realm, exiting it.
Yeah, and then just walking through normal door with the dog.
Gate in the key requires a momentum spent.
Correct.
Excellent.
-1.
deduct that for you. To 7 momentum you go. You open the gate and the key. Here, it is a clear door.
Interesting. Get the usher Pendle Whip through, and then myself.
You step out.
All right. And then immediately into the group chat. Guys, are you alive? Was that just whispering? Did you die?
Majin, Charles, Gideon, Majin, Charles, and Thalis. Group chat goes off for you. Gideon, I don't believe you have a phone, correct?
No, we don't really do that.
Yeah, understandable.
Yeah.
Group chat pings after some heavy conversation.
I'm sure I'd have some trouble finding signal anyway, or might have trouble finding me.
I'll send a selfie of me eating pizza, like with Thalos and Majin and Gideon in the background, whether Gideon's blurred or not. Like,
Gregor, or rather, all of you in the group chat see the picture. There is what looks like a lens flare that covers up where Gideon is. Yeah. Majin and Thalis. Thalis, what do you look like in this picture? Just for clarity. Majin? Same question.
Pizza in the mouth.
Beats in the mouse, looking a little bit more serious. Gregor, you get a verification that everyone's alive. Well, everyone.
Where is that?
Where is it?
I'll drop a pin, like a map pin.
You can. It scatters.
Back at the
It
airport.
just shows generally at Denver International. You can see Tim kind of like sign at you, says, "I can go find him if you want."
Yeah. Go ahead and get him. Don't worry. I'll send him the group chat.
You see
My
him
people will talk to your people.
hit his chest. Chim sort of knocks on his chest and clears his little tiny monkey throat. Hops off your shoulder. And just starts screeching as he rushes out of the door down the hall. You just hear this monkey screech continuously. Gregor, there's a screeching coming down from the hallway. I would say at this point you recognize.
Okay.
It takes you a couple seconds to be like, "What the fuck is that?" And then you realize, yeah, that's Chim Chim.
Okay. No. We'll start walking that way. Fast walking, like that nervous, like oh shit, everything's gonna go on fire. Just fast walk. I don't feel like running in these hallways because that's gonna catch more attention. Just fucking.
Understood. All of you, or rather, Gregor, you see Chim Chim. He's rushing towards you now. His eyes are just fixed on you as he's on all fours running. Arthur Pendlewhip kind of stops and like his ears go back.
Turn around and lead the way. I need to get to him now.
Chim Chim rounds and continues to run.
Okay, cool. No,
While
I'm not
you-
gonna run after him, but
While you wait, he's got tiny legs.
yeah, I
Like,
figured my
you'll be alright.
stride was like 4 of his.
Charles, Gideon, Majin, Thalis. The scene is yours once again.
I've said my piece. It's not like Majin's under any necessary pressure to make a decision. He's here, but there is one missing still. So I imagine Gregor should be present as well.
Yeah, you're probably right. We can hang tight.
Majin, I want to get some insight into your thoughts after Gideon has made his argument. What's going through Majin's head?
You feel like they both want to do the same thing. I mean, he's confused. You know, You don't feel like either one of their plans are necessarily bad, but for some reason they keep thinking that these people are just evil for some reason, you know. Yeah,
Understood.
confusion.
Thalis, I'd love to get your insight as well.
Excuse me. While I think that overall the keepers may have good intentions, I'm not sure if their methods will, in the end, achieve the results that they want, at least long term. They may have, say, a semblance of what they want for a little bit, but it may not hold up in the long run.
Is it safe to say that you've made a decision?
Yeah, I think so. Like, I can get behind what they want to get done, but I don't think I'm going to be a part of how they do it.
Finally, Charles, I'd love to get some insight into your thoughts on Gideon's words. Charles, are you frozen?
Oh no.
Yeah, that's not deep thought. That's a frame. That's a frame. What a frame.
Excellent. We'll get his thoughts when we reacquire our Charles. For the time being, I think we'll take a little bit of an earlier break. 10 minutes early. We will be with you guys again very shortly. Until then, stay tuned. I'm sure things will level out very shortly. We'll be back in 7. Welcome back. We have our Scions reunited. But for the time being, before we begin conversation, I did want to get some insight into Charles. How do you feel about some of the things that Gideon has said? What's your mindset?
I agree with a lot of what Gideon has said. I don't really like I don't really care too much for the keepers of the world in the sense that I trust them like that, but at the same time, like being able to be there for MAJIN if that's something he wants to do is something that Charles is willing to do while not being willing to actually join.
Copy. In this moment, Gregor enters the scene. You're all of you reunited once more. Chim Chim and Sir Arthur Pendlewhip immediately rush toward the pizza.
Yes. The king is on the board. He's incarnated.
I need
King of
context.
England or
No, the king in yellow. He's on the board. He's incarnated. The keepers are looking to recruit him.
They're looking to recruit him?
Yes.
So, can't say that I know everything about this guy, but judging from your reaction, that's a bad thing.
It's a very bad thing.
Yeah.
Without Phil, he's decided to take things into his own hands. He's currently amassing power right now.
What's his name?
He's going by Daniel Manspeaker.
Hmm.
Little on the nose.
It's the king in yellow. I mean, he's literally the god of art nerds.
Where'd you see this?
In the Keeper's records. Well, not the Keeper's records, in the other records that are on top of the Keeper's records.
Yeah, where have you been? Didn't you go to get your dog? Like, why
I've been here the whole time.
It was you. You were turning the paintings.
You can't prove anything.
You care showing me what you're talking about?
What?
Sure. Come on.
Follow Gregor?
Off we go.
With all the pizza.
Yes.
I'm not carrying it this time.
No, I'll carry it. It's fine.
I mean, worst case scenario, the THALIS.
Sir Arthur
Okay.
Pendlewood begins to carry pizza using mandibles coming out of his spine.
Oh, what a good boy.
Who's your good boy?
Gideon, from your perspective, it just looks like he's balancing, or actually Gideon and Charles, it just looks like he's balancing pizza on his back. Thalis, Gregor, and Majin, you know far better. Small little hooks latch into the boxes.
Talented dog.
He's
Charles.
cheating. That's what he's doing.
Something in your mind tells you not to look too closely.
So, Gregor, I'm unfamiliar with whom you're speaking about. Is this one of your others that you've spoken of?
Yeah. Beeline.
Just
I
curious.
don't have anything to add there. You got more questions at this point, by all means, but
I don't. You've made it pretty clear that they are zany.
that is a word for what he does and what he is.
Bad news. That's kind of the vibe I've gotten so far. So,
Very bad news.
oops. I don't need to fix this. Okay, yeah, we follow.
You follow the Keeper's records. A new scene begins. We are at 8 momentum. Once more.
Cool.
Do you enter the Keeper's records, Gregor?
Yes. Given the and I should have no particular issue discovering this, given my keys to the memory palace.
Indeed. However, my question is more in line with what version of the records are you going into?
Ah. Well, first, I'm going. I don't want to do this. All right. Do you all want to go out of phase, or shall I just go retrieve the book?
You say what?
Do you all want to go out of phase, or shall I just go retrieve the book?
Go out of phase? What are you talking about? Just show us where the
Okay.
book you're saying he's listed in.
All right. I'll go to the book where they have his where the keepers have the record. Here's his record. You can't read the rest while you're in this phase.
Daniel Manspeaker, gentlemen, as you look over the notes, is Scion of renown. He's progressing through apotheosis on his own. Difficult to say what pantheon he belongs to, though it's rumored that he's part of the Netjer, the Egyptian pantheon. There's also, he's just very charismatic. He's already amassed a number of followers and cults. He's doing a lot of philanthropy, and he's made a point to be a good person and to gather up support and to help people wherever he can. He's a potential candidate for the Keepers.
What a fucking monster.
He's an incarnation of the king.
I see it. Without a doubt, like, I'm ready to go. Let's fucking kill this dude. 86 him right now.
Was it the community service that gave it away?
No, it's the calling us out specifically by pretending to be Egyptian.
How is that calling?
Honestly, it was just that you said he was the king in yellow.
Don't worry about it. Do you need more proof, Majin?
Well, I mean, yeah, I would like,
Then let's go out
where
of phase.
you
Then
can
let's go out of phase.
to conclusion. This was a
Then let's go out of
bikini.
phase. I open the door to the outside, just outside the archives.
There's a
Get out of phase.
shivering along the threshold of the door that signifies
One moment.
the changeover of the gate and the key being activated, and momentum is expended.
All right, go out of phase.
The door is open.
Yeah, sure. Go in.
You go in too, Thalis?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gideon, Charles.
If I am not needed, I see no reason as to if you say this is a problem, it's a problem. There's nothing over there that's going to convince me otherwise.
Charles?
I think we lost Charles again.
He decided not to. He doesn't like seeing He doesn't like seeing eldritch things.
We'll get his decision rather than making it for himself.
Okay.
When he returns. Gideon, you wait outside.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. We got a Schrodinger's Charles right now, then, I guess.
You have a Schrodinger's Charles. As long as you don't look directly at him, he is both with you and without you. You enter in. The record space is much akin to what it looks like normally. Long boxes, however, there are separate labels. Strange scrawlings and markings.
Yep, don't read any of the books. And I go to the book that we just had and I open it. Read this one.
There is something I will do while they're in there.
What would you like to do?
I was actually going to see if they had any information on some islands in the Mediterranean.
Excellent. Let's have a research roll from you real quick. While that's happening, Charles, you've been Schrodinger's Charles. Do you follow Gregor into the Gregor Keeper's room for further proof?
No, I don't need any further proof.
Then you are with Gideon. Gregor, you look to see if Charles is with you, and he's not. You swear he was just there a minute ago.
Weird.
Gideon is searching through the Keeper's documents. Charles, is there anything you'd like to be doing in this time as well?
Yeah, I'll start looking for Scions of Sun Wukong.
Go ahead and both of you make a roll for your research. An argument for a skill can be made, though in your mental attribute, given the quickness of it. Say again?
Cunning academics.
Cunning academics makes sense to me. Charles?
I would like to use intellect. Haven't really settled on a skill yet.
Given the quickness of this action, it'll be cunning.
I got
And test.
10s get re-rolled, right?
10s explode, yes. Charles, you have some momentum at your disposal as well as Gideon.
Yeah, I'm just rolling here. 5.
5 successes. Gideon, remind the world and myself, because my goldfish brain, which islands you've narrowed down so far. What have you got for your island list?
So you left me with Cythera and Paxos? Yeah.
I believe you had 3.
Well, I had, so there was Ithaca, Paxos, Cythera, and Coursera. He told me that he had visited 2 of them, and so left me with 2.
He had visited 2 of them and told you it wasn't worth the trip for a vacation. So you should have, I believe...
I only had 4 islands total.
Yeah, let me double check some stuff while I While I
And I
get
didn't
you
review. So
while I get that information for you, Charles, have you decided on a skill?
Blip.
Charles has not decided on a skill. While I get that information from you, let's take Gregor, Majin, and Thalis. You guys needed, or you guys went into the Keeper's area. What happens?
Yeah, I'm just reading the
Yeah,
book
and
that Gregor gave me.
You find information written by whatever eldritch deities keep this place. It is the King in Yellow reincarnated.
Need to let the keepers know.
yeah. I mean,
What the fuck is this place?
this is the same place. Don't worry about it. Remember, listen, I can explain it to you. Or you can not go mad. Those are the three options.
What do you mean go mad? Is this like another
Listen,
one of those?
You're not necessarily supposed to be here. We're all not supposed to be here technically, but that doesn't matter. There are individuals here who may not take kindly to you being here without going through the proper introductions, or rather indoctrinations.
I take the book.
It'll just be the same book. It's the same book now.
All right. Well, yeah. Let's get out of here and let them know.
Yeah.
Try to warn them.
Charles, we have you back. I'm not sure for how long we have you back, but have you decided on a skill?
Yeah. With quickness being a focus, I would like to use athletics and cunning.
I like it. Quickly speed reading through this. Not sure if you'll get any notable information, but I like it. Let's get a roll from you.
I'm just looking at the titles on the spine or on the cover, and if it doesn't match what I'm looking for, I'm just like throwing it over my shoulder.
Excellent. While you make that roll, hold on to the number. Gideon, I am not without flaw, so I do not recall what islands I said. I believe Ithaca, Helio said he visited. I'm sure that chat and comments and YouTube will yell at me. But I believe it was Ithaca and Paxos that were eliminated from your search.
that would leave Coursera and Cythera.
Correct. Looking through with 5 successes, you peek through. The keeper's records are labeled and organized in an easier way. It's organized by pantheon, and by pantheon, it's by deity, minor and major, as they describe them. Looking for the island. There's no information on the island itself. On the islands themselves, I should say. However, one island springs up quite a bit. It seems like tasks are given to certain scions. Even Heracles himself, in his records, has made several visits to the island of Coursera, as has a number of different scions. No details onto what they've done there.
Only Theoi.
Only Theoi.
And how high up the chain are they generally?
This is commonly done by demigods. You can look with 5 successes. You peek further. Scions of Hephaestus, scions of Ares and Athena. In the large folders, it would appear that Athena, Ares, gods themselves take frequent trips to Corsair.
I can't imagine that they would take frequent trips to a place they're trying to hide. So I will keep that in mind.
With 5 successes, Gideons, I would like to plant a seed for you to mull over.
Okay.
In this research, the lack of information on the islands, it's almost interesting that there is no detail when the Keeper's records are so detailed. The island of Corsair seems to be a blank spot.
Well, minus all the visits.
Aside from the visits, yes, but no details as to what they've done. Whereas other records detail visiting, even just visiting Cythera, they detail what they've done there. A demigod fought a great beast or retrieved a relic. Nothing on Corsair. Nothing what gods and demigods do on Corsair. So do with the lack of information what you will.
Okay.
Charles, the result of your roll.
I got 4 successes.
4 successes. You quickly grab up names. Again, it's a organized by Pantheon and Major and Minor Deity. You're looking for your brothers and sisters, correct?
Yes, sir.
You just take the file. You can just take the file on Sun Wukong if you would like.
Yeah, absolutely. Full set.
Full theft. Copy that.
Once I get that,
Go on.
I was just going to call Jessica and see what was going on.
You dial Jessica. We'll get to that phone call very shortly. Gregor, MAJIN, THALIS. What goes on?
Well, now that he's got the proof, probably open the door again, head back into the proper archives, yeah.
Makes
Yeah.
sense. Bring you
THALIS?
guys down to 6 momentum.
Okay.
Sorry, didn't realize I was muted.
Okay, cool. So, head on back.
You see your
King
three
and
friends emerge seemingly from nothing. Charles is on the phone.
Okay. He's taking the board. We need to deal with him. He's taking the board. We need to deal with him.
So how does this impact the keepers then? If they have records of him being here, how do they not are they unaware or are they aware?
I think he's Egyptian. It's not an uncommon ploy to pretend to be someone else.
Didn't they say that they had others of your kind here?
Yes, but they think he's Egyptian
What I'm
for
saying,
their own records. I mean,
but what I'm saying is, if you can see this, why wouldn't they be able to? The others that are like you here.
it was heavily implied that the current occupants of this side were not inherently aware of that side. And they said they had to clear it out. I don't believe that they're aware of what goes on the other side. I'm not inclined to route out the other side to these people. Unless you are, MAJIN, by all means.
Well, it seems you're going to have to tell them, right?
Oh, yeah, that he's actively trying to start the war. Or stoke the fires of war.
With that being the case, wouldn't it make sense to have someone join them so they can keep a closer eye on him?
Not sure what you're getting at. Are you saying we should ally ourselves with the King in Yellow?
No, I think we'd be safe.
I'm saying it's easier to keep an eye on your enemy if you keep them close.
Yeah, so You're thinking that we don't tell them, we let him join the Keepers of the World?
No. Saying that they can do whatever they want, and that we could align ourselves with the keepers of the world and everything, try and give him warning, and he's already being prospected for a position in the keepers of the world. Might be easier to get at him from inside.
Yes, but if he comes here, he's going to have access to the school that's here, which will give him at least 40 individuals.
It would seem that the more ideal situation would be that he not join.
Yes, if he has access to the school here, and if we're going to, and if your insinuation is that we have somebody join and, just prospect him forever.
MAJIN has already joined the organization. And I want to make it clear, based on our conversation earlier, your departure is not necessary for us to work together or to align our objectives. It is simply a question of whether or not we are bound or not.
Bound? What are you talking about, bound?
As you are bound to the keepers now.
It's not like they have a mind control device on me or something.
No, but your
Yeah,
fates are
you can-
intertwined.
Yeah,
Yeah, as are ours.
Not at the moment.
I guess if you say so. I plan on still finding the fates and doing what we planned on doing. This is just another detail we gotta figure out. Like I said, we have the same goal, I feel like. So it only makes sense for us to continue to work together. At least up until those differences peek through.
As in, they want to use fate.
that is actually an interesting point. Like, if where do the goals diverge between everyone and the Keepers? Because I've obviously missed something.
Seems that their intention is to utilize fate's designs to enact whatever their long-term agenda is.
Okay. And you would like to just destroy Fate?
No, I really wish she would stop putting those things upon me. I've never said I wanted to destroy fate. I said I wish to remove the trappings of fate, the power that fate has over the architecture and design of lives and souls.
So remove the utilization of fate by others.
Unwind the tapestry, if you will.
Yeah, you can see my confusion because that sounds like destroying Fate.
Fate came to see me.
There's a knock on the threshold of the entrance to the Keeper's archive door. Standing in
Come in.
the middle of it is there's a little old woman, gray hair done up into a top bun. She wears a red sash and almost grayish blue clothing, almost like a dress. She says, "I'm very sorry to interrupt, but we very rarely get visitors. A meal has been prepared for our guests, if you would like."
Look to everybody else. I mean, you guys brought pizza into here.
I have no wish to dine here.
Is are the rest of the keepers there attending?
Your brother and Heracles will be present.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna head there anyway, so I can speak to them.
Post
Nice.
conversation is warranted.
Suppose we should go then.
Charles, your phone Oh no, he's not really there. I hate that it's just like it's so subtle.
This is why we need to stop cutting away from Charles while he's doing things.
His phone will connect to the service tower when he returns. The rest of you, are you guys heading, following this old woman?
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
And just like that, he is gone forevermore, never to be seen again.
We'll press on. You guys are led to a dining hall where placemats and dishes have been set out. It looks like a meal is being or has been prepared. Off to the side, there's a little kitchenette area where food is prepped. You see Heracles and Ptolemy himself already seated, deep in conversation. Charles, it is in this moment your phone finally
Yes.
connects to the cell tower. And you reach Jessica. Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, barely. My signal's awful.
What's up, man? Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good. Just wanted to check in. Hey, have you heard of anyone named Daniel Manspeaker?
Yeah, I mean, kind of. I mean, he's like a public speaker. He's like I think he's like a what do they call those? A motivational speaker? Life coach? Something like that.
Like Donnie Rowe?
Kind of. I mean, Donnie Rhodes isn't really a life coach. He's just kind of pretty.
Huh. You know where this guy's at? Like, where his next speech might be?
I think he's in New York. Weird. Last I checked, he was gonna be in New York. I think he's speaking at Carnegie Hall. Weird spot for a convention, but all right.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, cool. Just wanted to check in. How have you been?
I'm good. I've upped my numbers by 3, by the way, so you can tell Majin that he can eat
Scrub.
my ass.
It took a whole pack of you, didn't it?
We hunt as a group. It took a whole pack of you, too, to fight your fucking monsters. I don't want to hear it.
Prove it.
I'll send you pictures right now. I kept trophies.
Do it. Go ahead. Prove that it took a whole pack of us.
Oh my god. Is this all you called for?
Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, bye. You hang up. You guys are all in the dining hall. Heracles and Tali kind of look over and says, Tali stands and says, please, join us. I don't believe I've had the pleasure to meet all of you.
Nah, we ain't got time for
Okay.
that. I'll approach him.
Kind of looks over and says, bit rude, don't you think?
Nah, fuck these guys.
Fair enough, I suppose. We'll get acquainted over a meal. Will you be joining us for dinner?
Sure.
I'll look to Majin. Am I allowed?
Allowed to what?
I don't know. I mean, it seems like you didn't really want me to meet whoever that is.
You can meet him. I don't care. We got important shit to talk about. Fuck this dinner.
Oh, by the way, guys. King in Yellow, New York, Carnegie Hall.
Got it.
You can see the old woman coming
That was easy.
over and kind of placing out in the center of the table. Rice, there seems to be some sort of cooked chicken. There's vegetables and steamed vegetables and such. She takes a place next to Talui.
Right, she was a god the whole time. Of course she was.
Who's the old lady?
I don't know.
Heracles kind of leans into both of you, kind of puts his arm around both of you and says, "That is Meng Po. She's
Who is that?
She's a keeper and she's family.
Oh, okay.
Got it.
She kind of pulls you guys in and says, it would do a great dishonor to deny even a single bite of the food she's prepared for all of us. I once got a thrashing from her. She's much stronger than she looks. Just have a single bowl of rice and everything should be fine.
I'm gonna pass that along to Thalis to make sure that he understands, and Gideon.
Well, yeah, if somebody makes you food, you don't just not eat the food. That's rude.
Yeah.
Old ladies freak me out, man.
Old ladies
Hi,
are
it's
the
nice to meet
scariest
you.
entities.
I'm Charles. Well, ever since that time in New York where I knocked one out.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Charles. Please, feel free. It's sort of a free form. Eat your fill. She kind of gives Majin a side eye, likely because of the quote of "fuck this dinner."
He's gonna be paying for that later.
Does
Yeah,
everyone else sit?
I'll just sit down on whatever chair is closest to me.
Understood. Thalis?
Yeah. As far as food, I'll get a little here, a little there. Kind of little sampling of whatever I can fit on the plate. And then I will go and find a seat. We'll say, a couple, maybe like right next to Charles. Why not? He kind of
Understood.
spot. So.
Majin, do you sit?
No, I'm trying to tell these motherfuckers something.
Gideon, do you sit?
I'm standing behind Majin right now. So.
Okay. Talui looks to you, Majin, still standing. What's the problem, brother? Is there an issue? What's the urgency? You can see Mengpo reach for a pitcher and begin to pour drinks into the cups that have already been placed. It looks like tea of some sort, very warm. She bids you all to eat, drink your fill, while the rude ones have their conversation. Majin, continue, please.
This man speaker, what's the plan with him?
Well, he's an influential individual, and he's been a heavy philanthropist. We were going to invite him for a conversation over dinner and just assess him before we made any further decision. Why? What? I'm afraid I'm not seeing the full picture.
He's well, I don't know what. You explain it, Gregor.
All right, I'm good up. He's an incarnation of the King in Yellow. He's currently the current driving force of my pantheon, attempting to push the war forward. His intention, having lost his favorite pawn, is clear. He is attempting to drive the war to an actual breaking point. He is a god of showmanship and whatnot, so it's likely that he's going to attempt deception. Don't add him to your ranks, he will attempt to use you, and if you do add him to your ranks, you will give him access to what is on the other side at this facility, and you do not want him, and nobody wants him to have access to what's on the other side of this facility.
Where did you receive all this information?
On the other side of this facility.
What does
you did not clear out,
that mean?
You did not clear out my people. They are still teaching class here.
We never claimed to. We never claimed to clear out your people. For the record, it was abandoned when we found this place.
It's not abandoned. It was never abandoned.
Yeah, so when you hang out with Gregor for too long, you start seeing weird shit. And Gregor imbibed the weird shit internally, and from there went to this other world where he fixed all the paintings and everything, and found a classroom with, I guess, some kind of schooling. And he found a book that said Daniel Manspeaker is mad sus. Thanks for the food, by the way.
Yeah,
Very
as I'm
welcome.
like shoveling rice onto a slice of pizza.
Mangpo kind of looks at you and says, "Interesting flavor palette. How is it though?"
I'll take a big bite. Like, it's fantastic, no matter how it tastes.
How is the tea?
Don't know yet. I'll slam it back.
Scalds the back of your throat a little bit. Tali kind of looks you over, Gregor, and says, "We thank you for your information. You'll have to if it is not too much trouble, I would be very interested in seeing this other place."
It's doable. However, school is in session, or well, school just got out of session. I would have to clear it with the instructors.
I see.
They're not. They don't necessarily have a problem with you guys living on this side of the world, but going into their side, that might be a bit of a boundary for them.
Well, the information is appreciated. We will assess Daniel Manspeaker with the new information accordingly. Thank you. This is a great boon.
You're welcome. It was important that he not get his way.
Our records, from what we understand, is that the king is one of the primary antagonists of this war.
Yes, he wants a show. This war will be a great performance for him.
Unfortunately for him, now that we have the information, we can take him off the board, as it were.
Indeed. Hopefully.
Does that mean you guys are coming to New York with us?
We're going to New York?
Were you having
Yeah.
Do you all have an intention of going to New York to handle this?
Yeah, I want to lay his jaw sideways.
It's fair. He did do a lot.
Huh. Well, yes, we may accompany to New York. Looks over at Heracles. Was kind of just watching him. Not really like his jovial look is kind of gone. He's kind of mulling things over. I can approach myself if you are busy. He gestures to Heracles and Mingpo. I understand that there are other tasks to be completed. I will accompany our new friends. Kind of looks over to you, Majin, and says, "Unless you feel that you have adequate tools to handle the situation, brother. Your trial period, your prospecting era is over."
He is only currently a hero level. He hasn't reached demigod level. I would wager that's for control purposes. So,
We have levels?
but yes, there's heroes and demigods. It's been a thing this entire time.
Yeah, no, yeah, we got it. I'm sure we can handle it, or I can. We can. Yeah.
Understood. Well, we look forward to hearing your report. We'll keep an eye out. We'll keep people nearby in case you need backup. They'll find you. Will you be leaving immediately, or are you inclined to stay and eat? He kind of eyeballs Mengpo, just very quickly, darting his eyes.
It would be disrespectful to leave this meal now, and we need more information about his whereabouts and
Carnegie
whatnot.
Hall.
Yes, but Carnegie Hall tells us just location. It doesn't tell us time.
I'm gonna do a quick Google search on Daniel Manspeaker's next motivational speak at Carnegie Hall.
It's the next time the man speaker speaks to the man.
The little blue bar moves across the top of the screen. A little bit slower than you would hope, but eventually it pulls up. The date is 2 days' time at 6 p.m. 6 p.m.
Cool.
to 8 p.m. 2-hour speech.
2-hour speech and 2 days at 6 p.m.
Excellent. Then we have no reason to hurry now. And we can enjoy this wonderful meal that has been prepared for us.
Have you been
Excellent.
to Carnegie Hall before, Gregor?
I lived in New York.
Okay.
Yes. Of course I've been to Carnegie Hall. We could show up backstage if we need to.
Well, I mean, been to Tokyo, and I didn't go everywhere there. Like,
Do we need tickets to this event? Because that can be arranged.
We can get sure if you want. You can also just show up backstage.
I'm going to
you
sit
could,
across from Hercules.
You do so.
could just walk in.
I
Heracles says,
formally,
go ahead.
I'm gonna apologize to what's her name,
Meng Po.
Meng Po,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, eat a little bit.
She places her
offer
hand
Meng
on
Po.
yours and says, "It's perfectly fine, dear. Business first, I suppose."
I'd like to offer Mako some of the rice-covered pizza. You want to try it?
She takes it from you and places it on her plate and begins to kind of cut it with a fork and knife. She tastes it.
Charles's face.
Gives you an approving look and then hands you back the plate.
Charles's face just
Thank you.
it's like Charles looked at the face of the devil for a moment.
Gideon.
Yep.
Well, for everybody, truly. Do you eat and do you drink?
Oh no, but that's okay.
Hmm.
Because this is a great time for me to use Keeper of Taboos so as not to cause any social consequences for this particular transgression of rudeness.
Excellent. The
Considering it's not
amnesty
anything
circle is cast. The safe space is limited.
I will eat.
But I will catch Heracles' eye for sure.
Understood. Looks across from you and says, "Are you not hungry?"
I've already eaten. I must say though, I didn't expect that you would receive direct visitations from the fates so close to your operating place. Is it common for them to come here?
If the kindly ones have found our doorstep, it is surely not our doing.
They came to me. They came to me to decree that your mission will fail, that your knees will bend, that Zeus himself is a slave to their design, and that we are no exception, and that there is no way to subvert their plan, no way that we can hope to maneuver, because their essences are bound to what will become our shared failure. And so I want you to understand something, Heracles. I cannot bind myself to your collective, as you are dooming one another to an oblivion of irrelevance. And thanks to your attempts at being secretive, no one will ever know what you were attempting to accomplish here, if the fates have their way. If they will point the eyes of Zeus and all of the other pantheons that you ally with here, the ire you will draw will match the forces you hope to ally yourselves with. Your opposition will be gods and titans and monolithic threats like this king in yellow. So, I hope that you continue your efforts, because to me and for us, the keepers of the world will be the perfect diversion, as you represent a monolithic threat compared to the pittance of heroes at your table.
Your gripes are noted.
They were not my gripes. Those are the Fate's words.
Well, their gripes are noted as well. When will you all be heading to New York?
I have 2
Uh-huh.
days.
Looks over to Majin.
Tomorrow.
Then you will all be spending the night. Excellent. Gideon, I feel you and I may have gotten off on the wrong foot. Perhaps after dinner you may find yourself exploring some leisure activities. We have an excellent sparring room. If you're so inclined.
To what end?
A friendly bout.
You wish to test your might against me?
I don't think it would be much of a test.
I have nothing to prove to you. But if it is a test of might that you seek, I have something in mind, and it requires no sparring room. A display, if you will. The greatest feat you can muster. The conditions are as follows. You will choose a judge, but it must be a judge that has no reason to grant and vote in your favor, and I will do the same. And the prize? 1 year. One year of freedom from your meddling and the interference of the keepers on any of my plans. And should you win, I'll help you. I'll help you fail. As fate has decreed it so.
Ptolemy speaks up and says, Heracles is not at liberty to make that agreement as he does not speak for the keepers. None of us do. We will have to hold a council.
I was talking about Heracles. I don't look at whoever just spoke, by the way.
Heracles never takes his eyes off you. He looks and says, just my interference, then.
Oh, yes.
I don't speak for the keepers. I can't speak for myself. If these are the terms, I find them acceptable.
And you will choose your display and you will show me first. Choose your time. You may take the moment, take the night to consider how best to show your might.
When you rise on the morrow, you will see it. Always scoops some more chicken onto Heracles' plate and says, you'll need your strength, friend. Heracles kind of shakes his head a little bit. Yes. Excuse me, I'm going to grab something a little bit stronger. Heads back into the kitchenette area and begins to sift through drinks. Same question to everybody as before. Do you eat? Do you drink? 2 yeses if both, yes to both. A no if it is for one, and please clarify. Gregor? Thalis?
Yes to both.
Yes to both.
Charles? Majin?
Yup.
Gideon?
Gideon does not eat, but has said again, my safety from social consequences will protect me from her wrath.
Indeed. Do you drink?
No, I will chew on tack from my pouch.
Understood. The Keeper of Taboos will indeed protect you from Ming Po's glaring eyes. Excellent. With this, dinner is had. If there's anything else left to discuss, if there's anything of note, by all means, gentlemen, the scene is yours.
Gideon's probably smiling at this point.
Nothing from me,
That's creepy.
unless they want to start asking questions about the school.
Nope.
They do
Absolutely not.
they do have some questions about the school itself, what exactly lies beyond their sight, if it's dangerous, if they are friendly, if a meeting can be arranged between them. They don't necessarily even want to encroach on their territory. This was initially their place. They would love to speak with one of the professors, one of the figureheads, one of the leaders, to determine if they can live in tandem. If not, well, then negotiations will be needed to put in place.
Yeah, it's not dangerous. They don't really care about what you guys do here. Typically, let's see here. What else would you ask? They basically, they don't really care what you guys do with your half of the existence, and I can see about arranging something, but I can't promise anything, given that I have no power over this school. It's mainly just a pre-existence right now for for some mythoscions. The shock of coming to Earth can completely destroy them sometimes.
Excellent. So, dinner is had, tea is drank. The night moves on. You are shown to guest quarters. Majin, you have your room. Guest quarters are limited. They explain to you that they don't have guests often, so this is more cots and bunk beds in a concrete room. It's not exactly cold, but you can definitely see all the carpet would make it a little bit warmer.
And they could just sleep on the couch in my room, right?
You can choose to do so if you'd like. Is that acceptable?
Yeah, I'll sleep on one of the I'll crash on one of the couches. You had like 3, right?
There's 2
Or is
couches and a reclining, I believe 2 couches, 2 reclining chairs, and a bed.
Okay, so I'm imagining Thalis and Gregor on the couches, Charles upside down on the reclining chair, Gideon. You seem like the kind of guy who would determine that the floor is too soft but make do with it.
No, I'll actually be going to fetch my judge.
Excellent.
Okay.
So, Gideon, where do you find your judge?
I go back to Japan. And I visit the Prince of the Earth.
A rush. A run. A trench. Speed. You run. You call on him. How does this take place?
I go to his shrine. They said that his shrine would be on the grounds near Fujin's area. So, having digested a portion of his soul, I feel like finding him won't be hard.
Indeed.
I follow the stench of shame.
You find yourself in Suwa. His home. His shrines. Old as can be. You enter into his house and he appears where the incense burns. come alone this time.
It would seem so.
An honorable rematch, then?
Perhaps another time. I've come to offer you an opportunity. To pass judgment on me. In a bout. A show of might. A contest, if you will. Between myself and Heracles.
You make a great deal of friends.
I do.
What contest is this?
Heracles seemed intent on engaging in some sort of, I don't know, egotistical reparation. He seems offended. I don't care. I came here and I chose you because regardless of the outcome of our bout, I understand you more than you might think.
And
You would choose your own way. You would choose your own path, yet you are willing to settle for whatever scraps they set aside for you to maintain relevance. And it is not that I pity you. It is that I am no stranger to the notion of seeing one stripped of their power, their ability to choose. You allied with these people. You've devoted your skill, your power, your ability to them, and they would just use you when convenient and cast you aside when not. Like it or not, I engaged you honorably. And I'm engaging you honorably now. I told Heracles that the conditions for our bout would require him to choose a judge who has no reason to vote in his favor. I assume you have no reason to vote in mine. Yet, I trust you are honorable. You have nothing to prove to me. But it would seem, based on the shame that you carried into our fight, that you have something to prove to yourself. And I feel that if you were to come and witness what is going to transpire, you might see an opportunity for something that you may have been blind to before. In the worst case scenario, for me, is you vote against me, and I have to help the keepers just as you are, and watch the fates crush them into the ground. It's all upside for you.
The nerve of you to walk into my shrine.
Do you feel as if I've disrespected you?
Only so far as I must wait for our next bout. Where does this competition take place?
Denver. Tomorrow morning.
The skies will darken upon my arrival.
I would expect nothing less.
The storm will herald my coming, and you will have your judge.
And you'll have your rematch. But not today. Perhaps when you once again regain a weapon worthy of such a trial. I bow.
He nods.
I walk out.
Your judge has been procured. Gregor, Charles, Thalis, Majin. You're all together in Majin's room. Gideon doesn't excuse himself, letting you know that he will be finding his judge. A small tremor in the earth reaches you. You know that he has departed.
It's just one of those. I suppose Majin's in his room while we're out on the couches. So you know. You ever
Couches
wonder?
are in the room.
No,
So
I thought,
the
I
floor
thought it was an
plans.
apartment-like thing. Okay. In which case, wonder why the king decided to manifest directly.
I don't know. Guess we can ask him.
I don't think
Why
he'd
do I
give us a
choose
straight
such a
answer.
Terrible name.
He literally he chose the name that was theatrical. It's like his whole thing.
You say so.
I mean, it is his whole thing. He's a fucking theater nerd.
Well, yeah, but like, I guess my thing being, why? Why pick a theatrical name that just sounds so bad? Like, you could have
Because
picked anything for a last name.
he's not human. He doesn't have concept of human taste.
You know what? That explains a lot. All right.
I mean that explains 90% of his stuff. We should probably attack him during nighttime.
Why during the night?
Because he's going to be there during nighttime?
We could also hit him before Carnegie Hall. I just think nighttime would be better. Because he's going to
Majin,
do things that are going to make people see things, and there'll be less people out at night.
Majin, are you in your room for this, or are you exploring the compound?
I'm just chilling on the bed.
Understood.
Yeah.
Is there any particular way we're supposed to deal with this guy, or is this like a two to the head, or two to the chest, one to the head kind of deal?
He's an incarnation. Imagine kill him any way that any incarnation be killed.
Yeah.
You know, don't get too close. Don't let him puppet you puppet you like a puppet on strings. Don't let him control your mind and make you do terrible things. You know, the usual stuff.
Got it, got it.
I mean, if half of what Phil was capable of is what he can do, then we're gonna be in it for the long haul on this one.
I will get up.
Yeah.
You do this.
That's it.
You,
Majin abruptly stands, does not move.
are you okay, Majin?
Yeah, I'm just wondering, thinking, how, what's this, what's the shit about tomorrow morning? What's gonna happen?
Oh,
Yeah,
with
who do you think's
Gideon?
gonna win?
Mm,
I don't know. I wasn't planning on attending it. I think either way, there's no real negative outcome for all of us. He seems to have taken that into consideration at least.
I don't know. Seems like it's just all in good fun.
Yeah. I personally don't plan on attending. I need to ask the I need to get in contact with the professors on the other side. See if they can talk to the keepers, or if they're willing. Or at least if I can get a formal. No, we're not gonna mess with these guys.
I think I'm gonna attend. I think it'll be neat.
I
Maybe
imagine it's gonna be crazy.
I'm gonna message my brother.
What's the message?
Ask them if they got anything that deals with healing hearts, shit like that.
What did you have in mind? Was the response to
I
that?
don't, Susano's kid, I forget his name. He rides a motorcycle. Seems pretty cool. He has a heart condition. Trying to see if y'all know anybody that might be able to help him.
Tlazatl is the goddess of filth and purification. She may be able to assist. I can connect the two of you if you so choose.
Yeah, that would be appreciated.
She can be a lot. Just be respectful and mind your manners.
Of course, I can't speak for the others.
I figured. All of you fall to rest. Gideon eventually returns.
Yeah, I will stay topside, and I will find. I'll choose a location for our display. It will be someplace out in the open. To, I will say, allow for an excessive amount of potential collateral damage, but still within view of the airport. If any want to witness the spectacle without getting, obliterated by whatever happens. And I will spend the time there a bit of time using my entropic eye to get the lay of the land.
You need to travel. You'll be in distance of the airport. Until you find a suitable location. Get the lay of the land. It's a space suitable for the collateral damage that is sure to come. Open field along the highway.
Knowing that my time as the hunter of the wayward souls has come to an end, I will do my best to connect with the earth, basically, and take on my primordial It's calling, right? What is it called? Path? No. What's it calling? What is it? Yeah, primeval. My primeval calling.
Hmm.
Since I'm no longer a hunter, my title will shift, as I am, and I believe myself to be, elemental.
Fundamental change in your being. You feel some sort of warmth emanating from the ground. Gaia's approval.
I will issue a silent apology for her for what is to transpire in the morning.
Do this. Eventually, morning comes. Let's quickly get a lay of who is present for Gideon and Heracles' competition. Everyone but Gregor. Gregor, where are you?
Well, they wanted to talk to the professors, so I'm gonna do that first thing in the morning rather than rather than go to this, because I imagine they're a little worried given the shared space isn't the right word that they have, and they would rather not dally on hey that. So I'll probably just go back to the other side.
They send Meng Po as intermediary.
Ah.
She doesn't
I
cross
would
the border with you. She waits along their side, inviting them in.
Yeah.
We'll get to you very shortly.
Min, take your time.
Gideon, Charles, MAJIN, THALIS.
Practical's more interesting.
Judges have been gathered. Prince of the Earth arrives in thunder, lightning, and drops of rain as the draconic form swoops down in that same form of fog, and there he is, Scion's his sword. Standing alongside Heracles as he waits in the field is a woman, clad in traditional Greek dress, hair done up with gold. She has a motherly appearance. The gown she wears is off-white and fades into pink near the bottom. Heracles addresses you, Gideon. I have found my judge, Lady Hera of the Hearth.
I am pleased you could make the time.
Not for want of other things to do. I'm told that this will be interesting, though.
It's not for me to say. I will look at Heracles. A braver choice than I expected. This should be interesting.
You asked for one that had no reason to favor me. I can think of no one better.
I will gesture to the Prince of the Earth. As the only survivor of one who has confronted me, I felt it was appropriate.
Heracles nods. The prince crosses his arms. What show do you have for us today, Heracles? He looks to you, Gideon, and says, How would you like to space this? In
As I
tandem?
said, your display is to be first. You are the mighty Heracles, the very embodiment of power and strength. You should have no reason to fear what may come after you. Set the precedent.
And so I shall. He walks into the center of the field. Make a roll for him. And as noted, he has honored you with not tapping into his full godly visage. He's meeting you on equal ground.
Well, that's awfully polite of him.
You see him take the center. Crouches down into this horse stance, his eyes toward the sky, and he leaps. Soaring through the air and through the clouds, you lose sight of him. Into the sky he soars. There is an explosion of light. The sky darkens for a moment. And you can see a constellation emerge. The man reaches out, swipes at something. Daylight takes the sky little by little. You swear you see the constellation smile. The curly locks wave in the wind. As something begins to soar down toward all of you. As it gets closer, you can see it as Heracles himself, riding on a chunk of rock. Gripping in to the stonework, you can see fire take his skin, sears into it. He is suffering a great deal of injuries. What do you all do? He is hurtling towards you at ridiculous speed.
I stare at him.
Can I see the horse?
The horse?
The devil horse.
Yes, you can see the devil horse, and it's in the
I'm gonna
distance.
keep my eyes on it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep my eyes on it.
Eyes fixed on the blue horse that guards Denver. MAJIN, THALIS.
Yeah, just enjoying the show.
Yeah.
Before the moment of impact, before the moment of it being far too late, you can see Heracles flip himself in front of the meteor itself, crashes into the stone and the ground in impact. He cushions with his own feet, taking that horse stance, as he drags himself back, holding the meteor. His skin burned, his body very nearly broken. You can see him. Thalis, you recognize he uses the signature purview of the Theoi. Actually, Gideon, you would recognize it as well. As he rights himself, you know that he's not fully healed, but he is hiding his injury. As he carries the stone, about the size of a large, maybe an F-350 pickup truck, as he carries it, places it at the feet of Hera and the prince. My feat is not a feat of strength. It is a feat of honor. I honor the gods who've taken their time. I honor the gods who have so much to do. I honor the gods with a gift. With this medal I will procure a new weapon for your troubles. I will fashion I will fashion a necklace, I will fashion bracelets, I will fashion a set of jewelry that will rival any that are in terra firma and terra incognita. My feat is not of strength. My feat is for the gods. There's a smirk on the prince's face. He looks over to you, Gideon. Hera does not look pleased, nor does she look displeased. Her face is stone.
Quite the display, truly a moment to behold. And again, as this is a display of might, as you've made it very clear, there's more to might than strength and power. There's more to might than spectacle. There's also might of character, of purpose, of commitment to an ideal. Gideon throws his cloak aside and takes on, again, the appearance of an elemental force of Tartarus. Skin cracking, seeping with magma. He grows. I will spend a legend to invoke my title as the Elemental of Annihilation. Gideon will stand with the adamant fist of Tartarus held overhead, allow the chains to hang slightly as he spins them with blinding speed, granted from his epicenter of dexterity, his unearthly speed, tearing and wind whipping through the landscape. And he plunges them into the ground, the chains lurching forward, stretching well beyond their limits, straining the fabric of the souls that bind them together. He screams as the links begin to snap, and the screaming souls imprisoned in their way find their way to oblivion. The shrieking crescendo of those screams build until the last link is severed, the gauntlets finally reaching their miles-long destination into the hot, shifting mantle of terra firma. And Gideon will grasp the molten mass with his titanic might, and through vents and volcano, geyser and fissure, crack and sinkhole, will utilize his marvel. He will herald the end. And he will trumpet his message through hissing smoke, belching fire to all those who would hear it, powered by the wailing souls he once spent his existence hunting, and shunt that message through the expanses of the many underworlds, falling upon the ears of the living and the long since dead and forgotten. When I was created, I knew little in this world other than my purpose. I was unburdened by notions of friendship and family. I had dreams, but I was always alone in them. The soul leader told me then, you are searching for answers, but you have yet to look within. The world will see your true self when you're able to unleash your potential. Then the dark days. And now, the husks of humanity, lights extinguished, barely recognizable as anything but the accumulation of their too long held beliefs and loyalties. And it was upon that realization that I became the instrument of transformation, the tool by which the universe could undo the imposition placed upon it by its denizens. These tricksters, magicians, otherworldly powers. And through this message, I will communicate that each of everyone carry inside them that same potential. An ecstatic explosion building at our core, waiting, potent for the day to erupt. And as I speak, I feel the heat growing. I exult in its energy. I instruct them to take it in, to absorb everything from this moment and the next, to know that the pain that they feel is part of the process. The winds of change are not brisk, but burning, scalding, and scorching. I instruct them to choose their path, to choose their weapon, to find their voice, to find their courage, and to look not toward the heavens to guide them, but to their kin, their fellows, their families, their friends. And the power belongs not to the petty, ego-driven gods and the mortal shepherds that seek to emulate them. I tell them they have the power to drag them down from the stage, to face those whom they demanded captive audience and applause. I tell them they are unbound, that they are essential. They are the universe, not slaves to those who would twist it. That the gods fear them. And though the way forward is paved with strife, it is not through their faith in a higher power or in the structures of man and government, influence and money. And that is not my wish to seek worship or servitude, only solidarity of purpose. And so I look to those most unfettered, most outcast, most maligned by the world, the unsheltered, the destitute, the imprisoned for crimes of trying to provide for their own, those choking under the boot of oppression, those enslaved. And then I issue my, we'll call them requests, to those who have, to open their hearts and their homes, their shops, their businesses, their malls, their banks, their schools, their hospitals, to welcome those in need with open arms, without fear of loss, for that loss be filled with the gratitude their kin have, and for those who have not, to look to their benefactors and accept not more than they would need. And for those who find themselves in service of a god, to ask themselves if what they offer comes freely or with sacrifice. To ask them what these gods have ever given up for them in exchange for what they offer. And to those who would dare to enact vengeance at such an effort, to those who would exploit, the hoarders, the oppressors, the exploitative, the greedy, the gods, the demons, titans, or dragons, I issue to them an ultimatum. Stand with those who would look to live beyond your petty desires and your games, see that their work cannot be undone, or stand down and bear witness to the truth laid before you, that your power is an illusion. Your strength comes only from the weaknesses offered up to you by those who believe themselves to have no other option. And that should they stand opposed, know that I bind myself to these newly unfettered souls, that they do not serve me. It instead is I that serve the liberation of these unbound, as I am the elemental of annihilation, and nothing they made cannot be unmade. And I will fate bind myself to any who hold my decree, as it is within the motif that the Most High may grant favor to those who beseech them. I herald the end of all that I have instructed. Just for reference, I have +1 might scale from Molded Glass for no cost, +2 might scale from Epic Strength, +1 for the Feat of Scale for invoking my title, +1 Legend for fate binding my Unbound, and a bunch of enhancement. So, Gideon will, with a gout of lava, retrieve his severed gauntlets, which are no longer bound by chains. He'll gather them up in his arms, and will sneer at the gods before him.
That is where we will end today's episode of Scion Godsend. We will have the results of the competition next week. If you would like to make your voice heard, we'll put up a poll on Twitter, and we'll see who wins. If there's not a whole lot of engagement with the poll, then that's perfectly fine. We'll get things sorted. But we will have the results of such thing next week. We'll take care of mechanics and all of that. Gideon and I will off screen, and we'll get fate binding sorted and such, along with the legend costs and expenditure. Certain marbles cost a little bit more. We'll get the mechanics taken care of. Wild, guys. Absolutely fucking wild. Wow. Thank you guys so much for watching. We of course have been the Rolling Nomads. You can find us right here on Sundays. Twitch.tv/The Onyx Path for our Scion Godsend Chronicle. We're doing things now. Holy shit. After this, starting next week, right, David?
Yeah.
Next week.
Next week.
Next week we begin our D&D campaign streamed over on twitch.tv/Rolling Nomads. Starting at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. We're gonna be doing stuff as well. Probably not sneering at gods. Maybe. I guess we'll find out.
I mean, I'm not. If you want to, then we can work something out.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. That'll be beginning next week, next Sunday at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. In addition, you can find us this upcoming Monday. If nothing has changed, we will. Edge and I will be running Gotham Knights. I haven't played it yet. He's dug into it a little bit. That will be 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And if there's any changes, you can find it on the Twitter. We'll make some announcements and things like that. Wednesdays, we're doing our gaming stream, as I have previously had some prior obligations. So we moved our gaming stream over to Wednesdays. That's going to be at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. We're usually doing Conan or Terraria. It kind of varies by week. We just kind of do things that make us happy. That's also over at twitch.tv/Rolling Nomads. More scheduling, more stuff will come into play, but how do you keep up to date with that? On our Twitter, @_Rolling Nomad. That's where you can find the poll that will be put up of who should win. Who wins, you decide, Gideon or Heracles. Your votes will be counted and taken into account, as well as the mechanical bits of all this, what you've just witnessed. That's the best way to keep up to date with us, with our scheduling, our programming, and all that good stuff. Once again, that's @_Rolling Nomads on Twitter. You can find us on YouTube, youtube.com/Rolling Nomads. What is not pictured on the screen to my left, there is a laptop that is currently still rendering the previous episodes of Book of Saints and Scion Godsend. Those will be uploaded to our YouTube. As soon as that is done, I need a new program to do so, because it's taking 12 hours per episode. It's a nightmare.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, it's a nightmare. We'll get it sorted though, and we'll get it all uploaded. YouTube.com/Rolling Nomads, where you can find previous season 1 of Scion Godsend and season 1 of Book of Saints. We'll get everything sorted. It'll be all good. That's us in a handbasket. You can find me, Gilbert Ramos. I've been your story guide everywhere on the internet under the name @Ramos the Nomad. That's TikTok, Twitter, Twitch, all those things, all that good stuff. Anyone else have anything to plug?
Yeah, so I exist somewhat. I exist on this channel again on Tuesday. This Tuesday should be the last time I'll exist on this channel again, besides these Scion things. For the Fog Over Linden Station that happens at 7 Central Time, or 7 p.m. Central Time. Hopefully we'll wrap it up. We might be missing this week because it's the Day of the Dead, and some of our players do actually celebrate it, so they might not be able to do it. So you might see me next week. But you can catch me here Tuesday. That's at 7.
Excellent. Yeah. Fog Over Linden Station, I believe, takes from the Shards of Contagion mirrors that we worked on a while back. It's available on DriveThruRPG. If you really enjoy the Fog Over Linden Station, you decide, you know what, I want to play a Wargaz, or I want to play a normal human, just like that guy, amongst all the crazy bullshit.
Yeah, I have a real serious chance of getting stuck in purgatory.
What a mad lad! I don't know why you would do this to yourself. But yeah,
why would I be anything but a human?
Okay. Thank you guys very much for joining us.
It takes place during the daytime. I can't be a vampire.
Sorry for going a little bit over time, but I wanted to get the competition sorted so we could say it was fair. I didn't want to have one go and then the other go and then you know, the claim of you had a whole week to think about this. So we're all square. We will see you guys next time, same place, same science. See you then.